Walk around the compound, see some tigers and some squeaks. Oh, dual camera action happening over here. What is this, 2014? Oh my gosh. Hi, Miss Dolly. How are you? How are you? People get to enjoy you, and also they get to enjoy me enjoying you. Oh, this is such a wonderful thing. Oh, yeah, so doing a little bit of that, doing a little bit of the dual camera action. Sometimes people, they'll, back when I used to do this, this was a normal, regular feature of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. When it was, they would ask me like, hey, what app do you use? What app do you use to get that dual camera thing going on? I'm gonna keep running away from you. What app do you use? And I would say I'm not using an app. Actually, it's an in-camera function that the Samsung devices offer. Yama. So, I am doing the dual camera thing. And this is the thing that stinks about this, though, and hopefully the S7 has fixed this issue. Ooh, goodness gracious. Hopefully the S7 has fixed this issue. But I can only do 5-minute videos at a pop when it's like all dual camera-y like this. Oh, and I can do this too. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh, slow down, Derek, slow down. It's too fast. So dumb. Numbers. So yeah. I am doing this because Sam, the content optimizer, the content optimization professional who has been charged with optimizing the BigCatDerek channel, cleaning out all of the clutter. He said like, hey, remember when you used to do that? We were on our little phone meeting. Remember when you used to do that with a little window up there? Why don't you do that again? Why'd you stop doing that? Well, because, you know, limitations and software. Now I have stuff that's all in phone. I've got programs. I've got programs that can handle this issue. It's all in phone. So kitty cats, they got fed. They got fed earlier. Oh man, this is so crazy. I'm like 2 minutes and 47 seconds already into a 5-minute segment. Whoa. Oh my gosh, if he's bringing back the window, does that mean that editor Derek is coming back? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Wally. Wally. Mr. Man. Been seeing a lot of your balls lately. He's like, don't act like you're not impressed. Don't act like you're not impressed. They've been showing up on YouTube, on Instagram. Big balls, Derek. That's what the channels should be called. Stinky face. You has a stink. Whoa. I see what that was. That was very tricky, you two. Oh my goodness. See, one gets the attention while the other tries to pee on you. Clever girl. Numbers. Without further ado, hello all of you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic Walk Around the Compound webcast. Ha! Yeah, I did it. Deal with it. What ifs? Then you gotta, oh man, I'm up there. This is so straight. And this is the other thing, is that it's a lot more stunning high definition as far as this back camera is concerned, so you can see all of the, hey, you like this? It's just showing up all of like the mess that's happening up here shows up in stunning HD. Oh, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this, Sam. We'll check it. We'll see if people respond well. I'm getting to the end of my first 5-minute segment, so I don't know. I've got 9 seconds until this whole thing is just gonna end. What to do? Seriously, what is the purpose of 5-minute increments? That's dumb. It's silly. It's technologically unsound. Oh, Mr. Clyde Pants. Mr. Clyde Pants. And that's the other thing. It's like now I'm looking at this, and then I need to be looking at that, and then I'm like, I'm looking like, how am I looking? But then I'm just like doing this. You know, I'm not looking at the kids. It's a mess. It's all over the place. Hi, Clyde. You're a handsome boy. You're a handsome feller. Yeah. Oh. Nice day. Nice day. It's springtime, so, you know, a lot of the days are nice, but it's going to change. It's going to start warming up here over the course of the next couple of months. I mean, heck, it was already in the 80s. It was in the 80s today. Some of you I know are probably just like, oh, there are still icicles on my dad's mustache. And you have 80 degrees? Rip off. Where do you live? I live in Greenland. Well, it's pretty cold up there still, you know. Even though we're losing, you know, ice and snow in the northern hemisphere. That's a thing that's happening. Since we've started taking measurements meteorologically, which is, we started taking like, you know, more sophisticated measurements in the late 1800s. Yeah, there's been a lot of different things that have changed. A lot of different things that have changed. Like extreme events, more incidents of like record high temperatures. There's certain areas that are, you know, experiencing more droughts. You're talking about, yeah, a decrease in ice in the northern hemisphere. Now, why doesn't it happen so much? Like, now they're saying like, oh, there's still decreases in ice in a lot of different places. But one of the main reasons why you're seeing a difference between us losing ice in the northern hemisphere versus the southern hemisphere is because you're going to be talking about the distribution of land and water. You got like Antarctica, and it's all that ice rests on land. And it's surrounded, if you look at a map of the world, it's surrounded by water. And water is a very good insulator for heat energy. And then you've got the North Pole, which is just water, or the surface of the North Pole is covered in water. But in the Northern Hemisphere, there's a lot of land. So the dynamics are different. How do you explain that? And look, we're talking, I mean, the mechanics of this stuff is so complicated. I can't even even begin to pretend like I truly, you know, have like a good and solid grasp. But based on my background in meteorology, I do know how to look at large pieces of data, and I know how to discern trends, and I know how to ingest that stuff and then mull over it, marinate on it, and then push it out there for more operational usage. Sass and Frass. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, though, when you think about it. Oh man, I wasn't even paying attention. My second 5-minute segment is probably going to be done. Well, actually, no, it's going to be done in like 40 seconds. But yeah, it's interesting to know. And I know that there's a lot of political stuff that goes in and around that stuff about, you know, the changing temperatures and how much of it is actually sick. Like how much of it has to do with how much of it has to do with natural variations in solar cycles, in the Enzo indexes, whatnot. Hold on, let me just go ahead and 453, 455. You wanted this, Sam. You want. Jeez, I wasn't even planning on talking about that stuff, but I guess I am. But there's a lot of controversial things, and people want to, you know, they certainly want to deny the human level of involvement on it. And there was a time where I did a lot of that myself, and I will say that I'm starting to kind of change my tune. There's still so much about these types of things that we just don't know, but I think that based on a lot of the information, a lot of the data, a lot of the stuff that's going on, it's hard to reconcile the fact that of the last six global extinction events, 5 of them had to do with variations in atmospheric carbon, and that, yeah, it's a lot of different things like that, and that we're putting. But in the last time that there was a mass extinction rate, a mass die-off in the Pleistocene scene, one of those, I don't know, Plea something scene, where it was over a 4,000 year period that like a massive amount of carbon was released into the atmosphere, possibly by melting permafrost. And it had these very like large scale impacts on everything. Killed off a lot of stuff. And now scientists they're saying that like the rate that carbon is going into the atmosphere now is actually like way faster than it was happening back then. And again, it's like there's so many different dynamics at play, and I'm not going to sit there and say like, yes, this is this or that's that. And I'm not. Look, I have a passing understanding of only the very basic elements of some of this stuff. I still don't try to make it seem like I'm, you know, like you need to listen to me. But there's a lot of evidence that points towards some of that stuff, and it just makes me think like, well, why not? Like, well, why would it be a bad idea to try to, you know, if it's true and it's legit and the information is correct and there's something that we can do about it, why make that, why take the chance? There's so much stuff that's pointing towards the idea that that's happening. And then there's a lot of different contributing factors. I mean, there's increased deforestation. Goodness gracious. Whoa, this ball. I know, she doesn't like it when all them trees get cut down. But trees are supposed to, you know, absorb carbon out of the atmosphere, and they get cut down, you know, faster than a lot of them get replaced. There's a carbon cycle that happens every single year, where the planet, in a way, just kind of it breathes. And the trees, they get green, and then when they get green, when they start budding, that's like them taking a big breath in. And if they're not breathing all in unison like they would normally, mostly deciduous forests. Oh my gosh, Layla, you're very adorable. What just happened? What just happened? What, you were just being cute. You changed your tune, miss. Oh my gosh, really? Don't webcast after noms are dispersed, I tell ya. Then there's a lot of different contributing factors, like, you know, the snow and the ice stuff. The more that goes away, there's something that's called albedo. The albedo, or if you're British, like the albedo effect, where that measures the amount of solar radiation that gets that hits like light surfaces like snow and then gets reflected back into space. So it doesn't get absorbed by the planet, and the subsequent heat energy doesn't get absorbed either. But there can be a toppling effect where if you lose a lot of that ice, then you're going to increase you're going to increase the albedo, or you're going to decrease the albedo rate, which is going to increase the absorption rate, which is going to continue to increase temperatures. A lot of stuff that's interrelated. 5 minutes. This is so stupid. I'm doing this in these incremental segments like this, but whatever. I wasn't planning on talking about, you know, carbon cycles and climate change and like human, you know, stuff like that, but here we are. Now, here's one thing, and I think that, I can't remember what article it was, and I really apologize for that, but I did read something recently that did, and I tweeted this out, and I said, and it was, I think last year marked one of the first years where carbon emissions actually stayed the same, but, or this might just not be worldwide, but that might be just America. Carbon emissions stayed the same, but the gross domestic product still went up. So the economy still went up, but carbon production stayed the same. That's big news. That's really big because it shows people that progress and prosperity of humans is possible when you can decouple yourself from, you know, carbon-based energy sources. It's possible. That's a really promising thing. We still possess the capabilities right now to very vigorously engage in a lot of these different types of technologies, and you know, try to reverse a lot of this stuff. Hi, Manisha.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm webcasting. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
Not really.
Not really. So rude. No, it's just, I just put her on the spot. Stop. Seriously, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, phone. There we go. I'm sure a lot of people are like, don't hit it. That's gonna make it. That is not helping it, Derek. It does every once in a while. Besides, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm within 4 to 6 months of switching this phone in for a Galaxy S7. So yeah, we're good. We're good. But there are promising things that are taking place within like our technological progression, within the advancement of our battery technologies, within the way that we can actually go about, even in the ways that we try to, like, because that's the other thing, like a lot of the fossil fuel or energy giants, they know that they've got to kind of clean things up themselves. So like, well, we can try to at least burn this coal a little bit cleaner. Hi, bud. So even they are trying to do stuff, but you know, we gotta just kind of move away from those things, I think. Right now, solar is really inefficient. Wind is really inefficient. Geothermal is inefficient. I know that there's like a lot of people who are opposing of that type of stuff, but a lot of those who espouse the eco-modernist philosophy, they really like a lot of different nuclear types of energy. But for understandable reasons, that gets people kind of bothered. All of these mean kitties. They don't like it when I talk about carbon and energy. They say, Derek, this is silly. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Numbers. But yeah, a lot of people, they think about like some of the historical things that happened with like Chernobyl, with 3 Mile Island, with different nuclear incidents, with the Fukushima plant. Yeah, oh yeah. But again, with advancements in computational power, with the advancements in engineering and advancements in our technology, like we are rapidly mitigating a lot of these different factors. Also, you look at like some of the possibilities for like things like thorium reactors. I've heard about that stuff, which there's not a lot of thorium reactors out there, but it's, I don't want to use the word safe nuclear, but I guess it's a lot more stable than your standard plutonium, uranium nuclear reactors. So there's a lot of different stuff like that. No, of course, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's talking about that. But again, if you read some of the eco-modernist literature, it makes some compelling points that we're going up to another 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, look at the clouds. Okay. And this is the other thing, like a lot of like problems with like nuclear power plant generation that happens around the world. It's that you're talking about facilities that have been, you know, maybe they were built in like in the 70s or something like that. This is my proteins. This is my proteins right here. You see this proteins? This right here? This is my proteins. The one that has my peat on right now. Yes, it is. I will leave you alone, mister. So, I'm not talking about just like, yeah, let's just ramp up like, you know, like the production in these pre-existing like old facilities. No, I'm talking about there's a lot of like new designs, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, and new ways of looking at things that I wonder if more money needs to kind of get funneled and filtered towards numbers. The construction and adoption of some of these newer forms of nuclear energy, which can prove to be a lot more clean than carbon-based production, and they can provide the types of energy that you need for, you know, growing planetary economies. Because that's one of the big things. And I know that there's some people, they, like, some of the eco-modernists, like Mike Schellenberger, I think that's his name, Schellenberger, oh gosh, because, you know, like, oh, I hope I'm saying his name right. I follow him on Twitter, awesome guy, really ridiculously smart dude, but he'll actually he'll bash, just really bash some of these initiatives. Is like, hey, we just installed, like, some solar panels in this village, and now they can charge half of an iPhone. And then he'll take pictures of like these articles, and he'll tweet about it, and he'll be like, basically like, WTF, what is this? Like, this is not giving the third world like energy independence. This is not actually putting them at the same level playing field as the rest of the first world is already at. Oh my gosh, cuteness, catch it before it is not cute anymore. Oh, cuteness with the clouds. That's the other reason why I want to get the S7, is because I think that this problem where I point to something that's light and like my light contrasts get all wonky, I think that the S7 might fix that. It's a lot of food for thought. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I read articles, and I like to read science stuff, and I like to hear the thoughts of people who are a lot smarter than me. Okay? Lots smarter than me. So I'm not trying to sit there and say just like, this is absolutely, oh jeez. I'm trying to zoom in. I messed up the box. Man. Okay, now zoom in. Jeez. You happy, Sam? You happy? Oh. There's a lot of different things. I mean, you know, like there's noted areas where sea level's already been rising. I mean, like, I think like 17 centimeters in the last 100 years, sea level's already risen. That's observed. And I'm pulling in that information you can get off of like the NASA website, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and also the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. So, you know, pretty reputable sources for a lot of that information. So a lot of very, very smart people are saying that, yes, this is a concern, and it's something that we really need to pay attention to. So, yeah. The reason I wanted to, the reason I even like just decided to mention this, because seriously, the only thing I wanted to do is I wanted to actually, this is the topic that I wanted to talk about for the webcast. I wanted to talk about the summer and it getting hot. Remember that segue I had over there? Then I decided to do like 20 minutes about carbon cycles and all that stuff and eco-modernism. What I wanted to talk about was, you know, the summer months are going to be coming back in, and the hot time of year is going to be coming back, and you know, we have to start thinking about trying to ramp up some of the Operation Cool Cats efforts. I know that we had gotten like some Portacool cooling units, which are a little bit more efficient. You can just use water and just hook them up to your electric grid. That's kind of neat. I was kind of thinking like that. Hold on, we're getting to the end of this 5-minute segment. Slade. Oh my goodness, numbers. But I want to hear some more ideas from you. I know that like there's like last year around this time, it was about a year ago, I was webcasting and I was like thinking of these like really lofty aspirations of wanting to actually get a commercial grade cool water circulation system, and I wanted to actually, you know, make a fundraiser where we could actually put like cement slabs that had like coils circulating cool water through the coils, and they would actually make like these cool slabs. I got the idea from like, you know, like Cold Stone Creamery type stuff. I thought like, hey, we can kind of try to use that same kind of idea and apply that to the cats. But that's a huge undertaking to try to do. And it's not to say that we can't try to maybe implement something like that in the future, but let's try to maybe think, you know, a little bit more down to earth to start with. And here's the thing, because that fundraiser, what that ended up actually morphing into numbers was the new enclosure fundraiser, which ended up raising over $80,000 for the organization. So it's like ideas sometimes like will morph and roll and transform into new things as you mull over the details and like how to go about implementing them. So yeah, but I am thinking about, you know, the warm months are going to be coming, and like how can we try to make some outfit some of the enclosures with some cooling apparatuses, but then also try to do it a little bit more green, like in a commercial grade, you know, air conditioning unit. That sucks a lot of energy. I know, you know, you might like say like, well, just do some mister fans. Like, you got to understand that's a lot of water. Like, we have limited like reserves within our well supply, and the water that we would use would eventually calcify a lot of the parts and components of like misting systems. We do use misting systems in a limited capacity, but that shouldn't be the bedrock of any kind of cooling thing. Now, like I said, we did start using some of the Portacool, those really efficient, really super efficient evaporative cooling systems. Numbers. In the alleyway for Rah-Rah and Zoobs, and they like that. They like that a lot, and that's why we had to build that new building so that they could actually have a thing. But now we've got other cats. We've got other geriatric cats, and I was sitting there thinking, okay, maybe we can get other Portacools, and maybe we can actually get solar. And I know that I just got done kind of like, you know, dogging on solar a little bit, but it's still, the technology for solar is actually improving, and it's not to say that it can't be a useful supplement to the energy grid for the compound. Wonder if she's changed her tune. Wonder if she's forgiven me. Jeez. You know, installing solar panels on the top of some of the lockdown areas, and then having some of these evaporative cooling systems around. But then also it's like, okay, well, you want to make sure that you're kind of capturing the air. So it's like we would probably maybe align them or orient them around like some of the lockdown areas, and then kind of wall off sections of the lockdown areas. Numbers. My numbers get flipped a lot more when I have this circle up here. Box. Man, I'm getting my shapes all bugaboo. Arch. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. But that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. It still involves like a lot of installation and then patching into grids, you know, electrical information and knowledge. But if you folks want to, you know, toss in a couple of your 2 cents into the mixer, into the conversation, I would love to hear your ideas. Absolutely. And we can have a diversified compound. We can have a diversified portfolio of cooling. There can be an assortment of mister systems and pools and evaporative coolers. But there might be things out there that are used in like agricultural settings that I might not even be aware of. I've done a lot of Googling about this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you folks know that I don't. Oh, 5 minutes. So, you know, if you could help a Derek out, go into the comment section. Again, we're trying to do things that are a little bit cleaner, a little bit greener. You know, we're not going to shy away from using like electrical systems, but I mean, like, we're going to shy away from using like big commercial grade type stuff. Misters, we can only use limited misters, so just keep those factors in mind when you engage in the comment section. Oh, also, comment section, familiar face shout out. I wrote it on a post-it. Familiar face shout out. It's gonna be Pride member Missy Mitchell. Thank you for being a familiar face, Missy Mitchell. You are being shouted out right now. Numbers. Sam, come on. This is really messing with the vibe, messing with the flow. I think that maybe I probably should do most of my webcasts like with just like the regular camera. But I will say, if I'm feeling a little bit frisky, put that window up there, because honestly, some people do get entertained by my frustrations. What say you, Miss Baggy Pants? Meow. Meow. Oh, Baggy, let's take a selfie. Look at it, you're in the tiny box. Now you're in the big box. Now you're in the tiny box. Now you're in the big box. Tiny box, big box, tiny box. Big box. What just happened? What just happened? That's what she's saying. Oh. So dumb. So dumb. Feeling frisky. Ooh, it's a box cast. I always like the box casts. It's when Derek's in just a mood. I had other things. 45,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Who'da thunk it, eh? 45,000 of you subscribe to this. This is so cool. Zoobs, what do you think, mister? Zoom in. He is oh no! He is rolling for joy. He is rolling for joy. He says that it's a very good thing that there are 45,000 subscribers, Pride members, fans, numbers of the content. Thank you so much. So awesome. So awesome. That number keeps on going up too. It's starting to get a little bit faster. The rate of growth for the subscribership. Tell your friends. Yeah. Cool times. Okay, cooling devices, climate change, New York meetup. Oh yeah, some people have been emailing me about possibly helping me set up a New York meetup. Actually something that's a little bit more planned, you know. Maybe something at like an official establishment, like a restaurant of some sort. Oh my gosh, that would be a lot better than like, hey, let's just meet up at the One Rock that's at the entrance of Central Park North. You gotta know where it's at, the one that has all the syringes around it. Let's all meet up there. I'm just a country boy. But yeah, some folks have been emailing me. I still have to email you back. Thank you very much. I am actually very much so contemplating some of the things that have been said to me so far. So awesome. Pride strong. Thank you. What else? Cartoon voice. We can talk about that in the next one. Oh, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my dreams and my aspirations as a boy. Bless you. We can talk about the next one. You have to remind me. I film these things usually the day before. So Wednesday, I don't know, tweet me. Cartoon voice. Yeah. I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll talk about it. All right. That's enough webcasting for now. We're getting to the end of this next 5 minutes. So there you go. It's appropriate. Bless you, sir. Thank you so much for subscribing. Bye-bye, folks.